Hello everyone, let us see another important question. A 5-year-old child presents with recurrent infections, eczema and thrombocytopenia. Laboratory evaluation shows that there is a defective T cell function. Which of the following is most likely underlying defect? The options are defect in NADPH oxidase, mutation in WS gene affecting the cytoskeleton, deficiency of adenosine deaminase, defect in C5 to C9 complement proteins, and failure of B cell maturation. So the answer is mutation in WS gene affecting the cytoskeleton. So let us see how we came to this answer. So the correct answer is mutation in WS gene affecting the cytoskeleton. So in this question, it is given the child is having recurrent infections, eczema and thrombocytopenia, which is a classic presentation of Wiskott Aldrich syndrome. This is the triad, and the mechanism is it is mainly because of the defective actin cytoskeleton remodeling in the immune cells, which is because of the mutation in WAS gene. This actin cytoskeleton remodeling helps in giving the structural support to the T cells, which are the immune cells. So it will impair the T cell function and also causes the impairing the immune synapse formation. So this causes combined immunodeficiency along with the platelet dysfunctions. Because the platelets also need the structural support, since there is a lack of this actin cytoskeleton which is defective here, this also causes platelets to be removed in the spleen because of this lack of structural support, and the T cell function also will be impaired because of this. So why the other options are wrong is the first option is defect in NADPH oxidase, which is seen in chronic granulomatous disease, and adenosine deaminase deficiency seen in severe combined immunodeficiency. And if there is a defect in C5 to C9 complement proteins, which forms a membrane attack complex, it will cause recurrent Neisseria infections. And if there is a failure in the B cell maturation, it will cause A-gamma globulinemia, but here there will be no eczema, but there will be thrombocytopenia. So why there is eczema in this Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome is because since there is a T cell, the cytoskeleton will majorly inhibit the T regulatory cells. If the T regulatory cells are reduced, there is more skewing towards the Th2 cells. So if there is more Th2 cells, there will be more increase in the IgE levels, and also this causes eczema. So Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome, it is an X-linked recessive disorder. So the takeaway points will be, we can remember by WS by WBC defect, W, A for atopy and S for small platelets, which causes thrombocytopenia because this will be removed in the spleen. So other important points we can remember is immunodeficiency with infectious patterns. If there is a T cell defect, the T cell will actually helps in cell mediated immunity, and it is mainly controls the intracellular pathogens. So if there is any defect in the T cells, it will cause viral and fungal infections like CMV, cytomegalovirus, candida and pneumocystis. And B cell defects, majorly the encapsulated bacteria will be caused infections in B cell defects, because these encapsulated bacteria will have a capsule which is slippery in nature. So B cells will produce the antibodies which will opsonize, that is tag the bacteria, and these finally be taken for the phagocytosis. If there is a lack of this B cell which producing the antibodies, this will cause increase in the encapsulated bacterial infections like streptococcus pneumonia and Haemophilus influenza. And neutrophil defects like chronic granulomatous disease, because neutrophils will leads to release of the reactive oxygen species by NADPH oxidase, and it will remove this organisms like Staphylococcus aureus and Aspergillus, because these are catalyst produce organisms which will produce hydrogen peroxide, and also this causes diseases. So if there is a counterproduction of this reactive oxygen species by neutrophils with the help of NADPH oxidase, which will counterattack these will be not occurring. So if there is a defect here, that will cause infections, mainly the Staphylococcus aureus and Aspergillus. The complement deficiency will form the complement, that is a C5 to C9, forms the membrane attack complex, which will form small pores in the organisms, and finally leads to removal of this organism. If there is a deficiency of this membranatic complex, it will cause Neisseria infections leading to recurrent meningitis and gonorrhea. So these are the important points in this question. So Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome causes recurrent infections, eczema and thrombocytopenia. So these are the important